Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has inaugurated the launch of oil drilling in Kikubi district near Lake Albert. Local reports say the Kingfisher oil field is expected to produce about 40,000 barrels of oil per day. The move, officials say, paves the way for the government to achieve its goal of starting full production by 2025. For more on the prospects of the much-anticipated oil production in the East African country, I reached Irene Batebe via Skype. She is the Permanent Secretary in the Ugandan Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development.
Oh yes, we've just had the launch of our first drilling at one of our development areas. And for us, that was a momentous moment because it then gets us to our ambition of producing oil in 2025. And this has been a journey since the 80s until when we discovered commercial reserves in 2006. And we consequently entered a season where we were putting in place the right legal and regulatory framework to support the production. So in terms of how this is going to benefit Uganda as a country, definitely we've put all the building blocks in place to ensure that this oil is beneficial to the people of Uganda. We have been very particular to address aspects of participation of Ugandans in the oil and gas industry through what we call national content, or in other places is called local content.
Irene, talking about benefits, what measures, specific measures, is the Ugandan government implementing to ensure the oil directly benefits the people instead of being a curse? Because you know there has always been this debate about oil in Africa being a curse or a blessing. So what specific measures is Uganda implementing to ensure that people benefit and it's not a curse to the people of Uganda?
Yes, we have been very careful to look at aspects of revenue management. Working with our Ministry of Finance in Uganda, we have put in place a bespoke law to support how these revenues will be managed. So under our Public Finance and Management Act, we do provide for how the proceeds from the oil and gas industry will be put to use. And we've been very categorical in that act that these revenues will only go to support infrastructure development. And we've already seen that because remember, throughout the licensing, we were attracting some revenue in terms of signature bonuses and other rental fees. And some of these revenues already, we are investing in some of our hydro projects and ensuring that the oil revenues are put to sustainable utilization in infrastructure development. But also when it comes to it being a blessing, we have addressed aspects of the environment to ensure that this sector or industry can coexist with the people of Uganda, the communities where we'll be operating.
Talking about the environment, what about when issues come up where the process of production impact directly on not only on the environment, but the people? How will the enforcement be done to ensure that the laws that is signed up to are enforced without fear or favor?
Yes, and that is part of what I indicated were our foundational blocks. So as part of the process, we ensured we are putting in place a robust institutional framework where we have a regulator, the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, that is tasked with regulating the industry and ensuring high compliance standards in the industry. So these companies will be required to adhere to the approval that was given at the time they were issued their certificate for the environmental social impact assessment, and the regulator on a daily basis has representatives in the fields regulating the day-to-day operations to ensure that these mitigation measures as were approved are being implemented. So we are really on course.
Talk to me about the steps being undertaken currently to ensure transparency and accountability throughout this process.
Yes, so the very first one, we do have our National Oil and Gas Policy of 2008 that we are currently reviewing to ensure we are addressing emerging issues of the energy transition. But one of our key pillars in that National Oil and Gas Policy is stakeholder management, and participation in the industry. So we are a very committed stakeholder management group. We ensure we are engaging our stakeholders on an ongoing basis, be it the civil society organizations. We hold many engagements where we walk through our plans, walk through our challenges, and together with them, we receive feedback and we are able to address that. So stakeholder management, we are big on that. But when it comes to even at global level, we have gone ahead to sign up. We now joined the Extractives Industry Transparency Initiative, the EITI, and they've already done their initial assessment of our oil and gas industry and the wider extractives industry. And we did perform well when it comes to aspects of transparency and accountability. But also when it comes to the revenue, like I indicated, we've been very deliberate on how we are going to handle the revenues, and those are appropriated through the Parliament of Uganda. So the petroleum fund that we've put in place, no one can draw money without the requisite processes and approvals right up to the Parliament of Uganda. So we are as transparent as we can be. And so far, I think we have a track record when it comes to transparency, but also good governance for our extractives industry.
Irene Batebe is the permanent secretary in the Ugandan Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. She spoke with me via Skype from the capital, Kampala.